Why do we lose sense of time when we're sleeping?
Why do we?
Lose sense of time when we're sleeping.
Why do we lose sense of time when we're sleeping? Try now. You understand what I mean by now. Yeah? And if we represent the past, we could imagine that the past is like a vast space that extends endlessly behind the now, and that the future is a vast space that extends indefinitely in front of the now. Yes? And the distance between the past and the future is what we call time. Yes? Or the distance between two events in the past or the future. So now let's explore time, the past and the future. So now just for a few moments, leave the now and visit this place that you call the past. When I say visit it, I don't mean just think about it or imagine it, because if you think about it, say you take the image of breakfast this morning. That image doesn't take place in the past. That image takes place now. So I don't mean just think about the past or imagine the past. I mean go there. Leave the now, just step out of the now and go into the past.
That's not possible.
Okay.
Because if I try to step into the past, that effort is happening now.
Exactly. So can anyone here, just while we're discussing, can anyone here step out of the past and just step out of the now and visit the past, just for a few moments? No. Can you imagine, Alexander, that anybody that has ever lived, not just us kind of weirdos that are interested in non-duality, but regular people that could you imagine that any of them could, just for a few moments, step out of the now and actually go to the place that we call the past?
No.
Okay, so if nobody's ever been there, and presumably the same applies for the future, yeah? So if nobody has ever been there, how do we know that this place called the past really exists? Surely experience must be the test of the existence of something. So if nobody's ever been there, nobody's ever got a glimpse of it, how do we know it's there?
We don't really.
We don't.
No.
We don't know it's there. We imagine it's there, but we don't know it's there. We have no knowledge of it at all. Could it be that it's not there?
Yes.
And wouldn't that be in line with our experience? In other words, could it be that the past and the future don't exist in the way that our minds imagine them?
Yes.
After all, have you ever experienced anything apart from now?
No.
And how many nows have you experienced in your life? Or let's just take today. How many nows have you experienced today?
That's a trick question. One.
Yeah, so all your life, you're only going to experience one now. Yeah?
Yes.
And that now, we've already discovered that, contrary to popular belief, the now is not this fraction of a moment sandwiched between these two vast spaces of the past and future. The vast spaces of the past and future aren't there. So now is not a moment in time. We normally think that the now is moving slowly through time. Yeah? How fast is the now moving through time in your experience? It's another trick question.
It's not moving.
It's not moving. It's not going anywhere. It hasn't come from anywhere, and it's not going anywhere. So this now is the only now there is. And this now is not a moment in time. How long does this now last?
It's eternal.
It's eternal. And you understand that by eternal doesn't mean everlasting in time. It means ever present now. So if we're just simple and we just stay with the facts of our experience, time is never experienced. Time is what the now looks like when it is filtered through our mind. In other words, time, it doesn't exist in our mind, it seems to exist in our mind. And therefore, if that's the case, wouldn't it make sense that when our mind disappears in sleep, the seeming existence of time disappears with it?
Yes.
That's why we don't experience time when we're asleep. Actually, we don't experience time when we're awake, but we seem to. But when we're asleep, we don't even seem to experience time, because no mind is present in sleep. So that's why you seem to wake up in the same moment that you fall asleep, because there is no time in between two waking states or two dream states.
Okay. That's confusing, but it makes sense.
It's confusing, but it makes sense.
No, it's confusing, but it makes sense.
It's confusing, but it makes sense. Yes. Yes, it's... Exactly. It's confusing because because everything that I've said you've understood in your own experience and you've agreed with, and it's very simple what I've said if you just stick with your experience. But when we compare that with the way reality seems from the point of view of the mind, it conflicts with the mind's view of reality. So it is the mind that superimposes its own limitations on reality and makes reality appear in a way that is consistent with those limitations. Just as I said this morning, if you put on a pair of orange sunglasses when you're skiing, you very quickly forget that you've put the glasses on and the snow appears to be orange. You think the snow is orange. The snow is appearing in accordance with the limitations or the colouring of your glasses. But because you have forgot that you are looking through this limited medium, you think that the orange colour belongs to the snow. Now, each of our minds is a limited medium. Our minds are the orange glasses, but the orange colour is time and space. That's the tint of our minds, time and space. So when consciousness looks through the time and space glasses of our mind, it sees a four-dimensional world, 3 dimensions of time and 1 dimension of space. And we think time and space belongs to the world. No, it doesn't. Time and space are the orange glasses through which consciousness is looking at eternity.